Today I'm going to go over plant therapy and communicating with your plants. Plants have a story to tell. What does your plant want to say to you? I recently purchased some sage and rosemary to make protection plant bundles for customers and clients coming into my shop. So here's the sage and here's the rosemary. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna put them together in a pot. So we're gonna put the rosemary and sage into this black container to represent the intention of black therapy, of color therapy for protection. I'm gonna go over step by step how to intentionally connect to your plants to help them better grow and feel loved by you and reap all the benefits that you're seeking to gain from your plants. We're gonna go over every step of this so that you can try this at home and practice plant therapy for yourself. So the first thing we're going to do is we're gonna put a little bit of soil into this pot. I'm just gonna put some in here first, and I'm gonna show you what I do with a little bit of soil healing. So this is not only plant therapy, it's also soil therapy as well. And this helps ground and center you, especially with the intention that you're setting for this particular bundle. So this one is for protection. And this is protection over your house, your sacred space, maybe even your office. So I put the soil in the container, and what I'm going to do next is phenomenal. It's going to make the soil intensify its nutrition and supplement to the plant. Okay, here is our soil. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take some of it, put it in our palms, and we're going to put healing into the soil. You may even feel like a slight vibration starting to pulsate in your hands. This means it's working, or your hands may heat up. I'm feeling the pulsating vibration. Maybe do it one more time or maybe two more times, depending on how big your container is. And you'll want to do this until you feel you've placed the intentional healing into the soil, asking it to do all it can to keep the plant happy, balanced, loved, supported, and alive. Okay, the next thing you'll want to do, and you'll have to do this with bare hands, yes. You can't have gloves on when you're doing healing. So you're going to take the rosemary out first, or whatever plant you're putting in. Kind of break it apart a little bit. And then you're going to heal and place intention of healing into the soil of the plant. Place it in, and your next one is the sage, or again, whatever you want to place in your pot. Okay. And I'm going to break this up a little bit, but I do see there's some dried pieces. I'm going to take some of those off. If you see any dried pieces, you want to take those off before you go planting. Once you've set your intention, you can simply place your plant in. Okay, so the groundwork is done for this plant, And then you're just going to start placing soil in and around, obviously, to get that plant settled in. And you can push it down a little bit so you can put a little bit more soil. This time you can put your hands in. And while you're doing that, you can place healing into your hand, into the soil, as you continue that healing. Okay. And then we're really going to place some healing in. So let's leave some arrow spot. Some empty space. And things you can say are, I set a meditative prayer over this beautiful plant and its counterpart so that it brings love and protection to my sacred space and keeps the energies positive and loving at all times. All the while, it is growing and feels love from me. We are a partnership and a team doing this together. I protect it and it protects me. So it be. And your hands will heat up during this process. The vibration technically tends to happen when you have soil in your hand because it's vibrating a specific frequency. Same thing with the plant. You can place a crystal of your choice. So if you have a bunch of crystals at home, like I have several to choose from here, and based off this plant, I feel like I should go with the citrine because I'm going to pull in abundance of protection. So what you're going to do is you're going to make a little spot in your pot here, kind of dig it into the soil. It's going to be crystal therapy. We've got color therapy with our pot, plant therapy with the plant. And next, I tend to do a little bit of saging to kind of bring the energies together. So we're using earth, fire, air, and then you can kind of lift it, do up underneath. Okay, now that you've saged your plant thoroughly, place a little bit of water as the final element of caring for your plant as well as yourself. This is very therapeutic for self-care if you're looking to do some self-care, and we tend to care about ourselves when we care about others. And what I do next is a little bit of more crystal therapy. So I will take a crystal wand and power up my plants as well as my crystal connection. So we're connecting the two. I am honored and blessed by these elements. I am honored and blessed by these elements. I am honored and blessed by these elements. I'm honored and blessed by these elements. I am honored and blessed by these elements. I am honored and blessed by these elements. And my amethyst is very healing. So if there's anything going on with the plant, I hope to heal it with this crystal. So you're pushing your intent through the crystal, through the apex, to shoot that energy out. I hope to heal you from any exhaustion and struggle that you may be feeling, or any disease or hurt. After we've done that exercise and that practice with all the elements and putting our beautiful plant together, the next thing I do is connect to the plant itself. So how do I do this? Well, I get my oracle and my tarot decks out, and I play it some singing bowl music, which I have playing on YouTube right now, but you can also do your own singing bowl for your plant. Singing bowl music helps elevate their energy. And you'll just want to practice doing this for your plant and helping it feel better about who it is in your environment. So I do get my cards out next, and I just want to see if there's anything that jumped out, if there's anything my plant would like me to know. Even though I don't need oracle cards to do this, I am a plant, what you would call a plant psychic. I can speak to them directly. He's just throwing some things out at me. I know it's a male. They're both males. Now they're roommates, right? So, okay, so it's a night owl. It understands its mission, which is great to hear. Some of them don't understand that. It is showing me that it's seeded during the August time. So there was some kind of seeding during August, and that they will guarantee me success with the mission that I'm doing, with what we're doing together, which is protecting. So let me see what else it wants to say, or what he wants to say. I don't know why I did that. I just want to get clear. He's actually very comical, the rosemary. He's very comical, and the sage like kind of chimes in. Okay, so basically what they want to help me with is people who are acting stupid around you, who make you feel like you're stupid. So you all know who that kind of person could be, right? I actually had to pause the video because our neighbor was pushing out negativity. Go figure. And the other thing he wants to talk about is helping with people who are two-faced. So they're being one way to you, but being another way to someone else about you. Those are the things he feels like he wants to help with. Okay, another one is he wants to open up pathways of possibility to help me with that. So that's kind of encouraging. That's something positive, right? And peace and harmony, bringing peace and harmony into the house. And I like that he picked the wind chimes card because it kind of reminds me of high frequency tones, like a singing bowl, right? So this is how you can communicate with your plants. Allow him to use his energy, or use her energy, to talk to you through your tarot cards, your oracle cards. It's just a great way to kind of bond with your plant that you took the time to plant and took the time to care about. Another thing I like to do is journal what I just discussed with what plant I discussed it with. See, if you can't hear your plants like I can, you can give them a name. So if there's two plants in there, you can still combine them together to make it one name, okay? So I'm asking my plants what their names are. Okay, so the rosemary said his name is Brutalis. So I'm gonna write that down, Brutalis. And let me get the sage's name. This is gonna be a tough one to combine. That's weird. I never could have thought of that as a name, but he calls himself Crew. I'm thinking it's short for something. So we could combine Crew Brutalis. I'm guessing we could put it together as one name. So that's very interesting. I've never gotten names like that before, so I'm actually very happy that they gave me their names and it just makes them super unique. So I like these names. These are really cool names. Crew Brutalis. So I'm gonna actually combine the two, and that's the name. But obviously you're gonna come up with your own name. Just understand that each plant has its own characteristic, even though they all kind of do look the same, right? But I feel like they each have their own uniqueness. Like this one has yellow, whereas this one doesn't. So they each kind of have their own uniqueness. You also have to factor in that each plant that comes to you has had a journey, and some of them may look at it as negative and some may look at it as positive. I went into a yard one time and I was going to go sit with the tree, and I felt this animosity and anger coming from the tree, and I didn't feel comfortable sitting with it. Well, here I come to find out that the trees in that section were very upset because the rest of their family, the rest of the trees were cut down to make room for houses. This tree just was not very positive about that event. It was not very happy with what happened. So it was not very happy with humans in general. You have to understand the journey that these plants take. Were some of them traumatized with how they were uprooted and taken somewhere else? Were they planted in a negative way? Were they planted in a loving way? You just kind of have to consider what they went through and show them that they don't have to feel those feelings anymore, that it's okay to let go. They're sort of in that way like a human, right? If a human was targeted and traumatized, that human will have a tendency to hang on to that trauma. Well, plants are the same way. They have emotions like this where they feel trauma, and it depends on the situation of how they came to you. Was it positive or negative? So now it's your job to show them all the love you can show them and tell them that they can finally let go of that energy, that they no longer need to hold on to it, that it's worth being with you now, that you're gonna take care of them and show them color therapy, crystal therapy, love therapy. And this is your journey together now. You're in this together. Started potting another plant, and the sage was like, why does she get to go first? So I had to share that with you. I thought it was hilarious that he got jealous with her going first into the pot. This is how they talk. It's amazing. Now that we have potted all of our plants, they can now go to our customers at the shop, where they can feel all the love and protection from their individual plant. I am filthy, ready to do a cleanup, maybe take a shower. It is messy doing this, but I love getting my hands in the dirt, as I'm sure most of you do. And I hope you guys have a wonderful time with your potted plant. And I hope you journal your experience and you keep doing it. Have fun with it this summer. See what plants you can learn all about, get to know them on a more personal level, and see what they have to show you. See what crystals they do better with. Maybe fluorite isn't this plant's preferred crystal, so maybe you switch it up with a blue calcite. Maybe it likes the blue calcite better. You just have to do a little bit of practice, a little bit of experimenting, and you're going to perfect this technique in no time. Thank you for watching this video, and I hope that you take the time to practice this technique and that you're bonding with your plants, you're journaling, you're doing lots of this color, plant, crystal therapy, and bring these energies into your everyday life. And if you have a question, throw me a comment in the comment section below. I'd be more than happy to answer it. Enjoy your plants, enjoy the bonding you're going to have with it, and I hope that you have an amazing time with this experience and these practice techniques.